Hello, this is Dr. Don, leadership strategist and CEO of Influencers Global. Welcome to Motivation Monday. You know, I want you to take a journey with me real quick. I want you to imagine that you are on a rowboat and you have a friend with you and you're sitting back to back and you see the place you want to get to in the distance. You can see the land in the far distance and you know if you just keep right on rowing, eventually you're going to get to your destination. You're just rowing and rowing and rowing. But as you look up and you look at the clock, you realize that hours have gone by, but it looks like nothing in your environment has changed very much, that you haven't gotten very far. You look over your shoulder only to notice that your friend is rowing the opposite direction as you. I want to talk to you a little bit about that friend, because sometimes that friend that's rowing the opposite direction that we need to go in, sometimes that friend is not outside of us, sometimes that friend is inside of us. It's been said that our greatest enemy is the enemy in me. And I want to talk to you today a little bit about sabotaging behaviors, because sabotaging behaviors will do just that. It'll have you row real hard but not get the results that you want to get to, so that you never see the destination or the goal that you could actually attain or reach. And so what do sabotaging behaviors look like in our lives? Every leader, aside from Christ, every other person on earth struggle with a self-sabotaging behavior. Maybe you struggle with some of these. Let me just give you a few for an example. Saying yes because you don't want to disappoint other people, so you say yes to everything. Saying no to things that you could say yes to because you're afraid. Procrastination, not handling business that you need to handle because it just seems so big that you just keep pushing it to the side until it becomes even bigger and bigger and you have to deal with it. Not letting go of the past, carrying baggage from the past with you from one week to the next, from 1 month to the next, from 1 month to the next year. And baggage can be emotional hurts, it can be other people, taking care of other people that need to take care of themselves, just not letting go when you need to let go. Indecision, not being able to make a decision on the small things. You know, if it takes you an hour to decide what you're gonna have for lunch, you're suffering or you're self-sabotaging your time with indecision. Not being able to make the decisions that you need to make in a way that doesn't rob you of your time. Another one, not asking for help when you need help. That's a hard thing sometimes. Some people have a hard time receiving, some people have a hard time giving. You may be struggling from being able to receive help when you need help to get a job done or need help, support, or whatever it may be. But that's a self-sabotaging behavior that will keep you in the same place. Not finishing what you started. You know, when I was coming up, there was an expression, jack of all trades, master of none, just picking up stuff. Not finishing what you started. You start one project, pick up another. Start another project, pick up another one. And so you find yourself still, just like that rowboat, still stuck in the same place. And here's a big one for a lot of people, overindulging. It may be in a certain type of food, it may be sweets, Lord forgive me. It may be any of those kinds of things, not getting the rest that you need. So you overindulge in staying awake. Maybe you're watching television, overindulging in media. It could be overindulging in any area of our lives, but overindulging in one area rose against us in the opposite area where we're trying to get to. So I want to help you get unstuck so you can become unstoppable. I want to help you row so you can get results. So I'm going to give you a few things that you can do to counteract those self-sabotaging behaviors that we all struggle with. Here's the first thing. The first thing to overcome a self-sabotaging behavior is to identify it. Which behavior or behaviors am I struggling with the most? So identify it. The second step is to isolate it. Now you may struggle with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 things out of the things that I said, right? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to isolate just one. Isolate one behavior that you say, I'm going to spend the next season of my life working on this one behavior so I can strengthen myself in that area. It's like a muscle. When you isolate it, you can strengthen that muscle. The third thing you want to do is to replace it. Replace what you do with something else. So for instance, if your natural response is to discount yourself and simply say, no, I'm not going to do it because you're afraid to try something new, maybe before you make that decision, say, you know what, give me 24 hours to think about it. Or perhaps if your natural inclination is to eat candy at 10 a.m. in the morning, perhaps you say, I'm not going to have anything sweet until after I've had lunch. But you want to replace that with another behavior. So after you replace it, you want to automate it. So what I mean by automate it means make it a habit. So now, from now on, you know that I'm going to set my clock so I don't stay up past 10 o'clock at night so I can get the proper rest that I need to lead effectively, to work effectively, to be effective in my home. So then you set your clock and you make a habit of going to bed at 10 o'clock. So maybe your alarm goes off on your phone at 9:30 as your reminder, I'm going to bed. This is my reminder. I want to roll forward so that at 10 o'clock, I'm in bed, I'm asleep, and I'm fresh, and I'm ready for the next day. You want to automate it. You want to make it so you don't have to think about it, but it becomes a part of what you do and who you are. It becomes a habit, and you know, researchers vary, but they'll tell you 21 days consistently of doing something. Some say 40 days. The ballpark figure basically is get it under your belt until you don't have to think about it anymore, until it becomes part of your lifestyle, and you'll know that it's a habit then. The next thing is you want to share it. Tell somebody else. Tell somebody else what you're doing. You know why? Because half of it is knowing and the other half of it is doing. And in between knowing what I should do and doing what I should do, I need somebody that I'm accountable to. So when you share it with somebody else, you're going to increase your chances of being successful at it, because somebody will have the permission to ask you, hey, how's your sleeping regimen going this week? How's your eating plan going right now? How's your workout schedule going? How are you doing with that habit? And you give them permission, and because you know that they're going to ask you, it's going to help you to stick to what you say you're going to do. And the last thing I want you to do, I want you to celebrate it. Don't wait until the battle is over, as I say. Don't wait till everything's completely done. Don't wait till you get all self-sabotaging behaviors done. But every time you have a victory. So that first night that you went to bed at 10 o'clock, you know, the next day, plan something small to celebrate it. The first week you did it consistently, plan something small to celebrate it. Share it. Put up signs around your house. Congratulations to me, I met my goal for a week. Mark it off on your calendar. Do whatever you can do to celebrate it, because what gets celebrated gets repeated. And so you will be successful as you do those things. You don't have to be stuck rowing without results. You can row and get results. You can be successful and you can get to your destination if you will work with yourself, not against yourself. This is Dr. Don. Thank you for joining me for Motivation Monday. Make it a great week.